Hello, guys. Hello, guys. How you doing? Hello. Hi, everybody. We are gonna. I'm starting about 4 minutes early because we are going to have Melanie from Killer Zebras on today. But I didn't want her to have to sit here while I show you guys. I just couldn't stand it. I got new edible ribbon colors in, and you guys, I know everybody loves our edible ribbon because it's a food miracle. But a lot of people when we first got them were like, what gives? Why isn't there rose gold and why isn't there white? And so I just got them in. I loaded them on the site. We're launching them tomorrow, but they're there, so you guys get the sneak preview. I have rose gold, metallic rose gold now. Ooh, look at that shine. This comes in two widths. This is the thicker one, comes in a thinner one that's half the width. And it also comes on a 20 there. Can be a flapper. I probably won't feed anyone this one, huh? Anyway, they come on 26 feet jumbo rolls. So they are ginormous. This is the rose gold metallic. This is the rose gold glitter. Mind blown. And then this is the one I'm most excited about. These we've got pearl. It's like a metallic white. You can see it's like that's gorgeous. So that's our metallic white. And then this one's driving me crazy because in person it's to die for. It is, but it's just not showing up in my pictures. It's killing me. This is white glitter, and it is so beautiful and so shiny, and I can't stand. And normally I'm not a glitter girl. I'm like not a fan, but this is so spectacular. So what I'm doing is I've got my samples that when we first were developing them, I've got samples. So I'm going to anybody that orders in the next couple of days, we're going to send a sample piece of one of these new ribbons, so you guys can see them in person. Because God, I wish you could see this in person. It is just magical. Anyway, and I got a new lace too. That's kind of cute too. Anyway, so we are not going to waste a lot of time. We are just I'm going to see if I can figure out how to get Melanie from Killer Zebras on here. And I don't know what I'm doing, so we'll try it. Okay. Let's see. Add a person. Let's see. Killer. Okay. Killer Zebras. I'm inviting or Melanie from Killer Zebras. Just invited her. And let's see if we can get her on here. Hi, guys. Hello, everybody. We're very excited. Annalise just shared, what do we got here? She just shared the link for the Killer Zebras stencils. And we're going to make sure that Killer Zebras is invited. Killer Zebras, invite. Okay, so it's thinking. Hi, everybody. We've sent our invite to Killer Zebras. Killer Zebra is unable to join. Okay, we're gonna try again. Let's try her. I wonder if she has to update her app. That's what happened the first time I got invited to one of these. It didn't work. Sorry, guys. We're gonna try again. Hello. I like her. Who can tell me her name? Oh, Melanie from Killer Zebras is coming on here pretty soon. I'm going to try and invite her one more time and see what we got. Yeah, that happened. I had to update my app last time. So invite. Let's try it. See if we can get Melanie Beth, owner designer, in to visit with us. As you guys know, if you don't know, you're about to be in for a treat because she is absolutely amazing. She does these like multi-layer stencils, and I don't know how her brain works that she can come up with those. I think she maybe like had maybe her grandpa worked at Roswell, and it's alien technology. That's my guess. Just saying. Okay, invited to join. Still waiting. Let's see what we got here, guys. Unable to join. Okay, hold on. Let's try this again. Okay, we're gonna try. Sorry, guys. I know you don't tune into me for tech advice, thank God. But we are gonna try it one more time. Let's see. Okay, plus. We're gonna find you. Where's Killer Zebras? Oh, look at all you guys. Hi, everybody. Hi, guys. This is gonna be super fun. Okay, let's see. Let's try her again. Killer Zebras. Okay. She's on. I'm inviting. We'll get her. Hey, there she is! Yay! Hello!
I had all my last second. Oh crap! I got to do this thing.
Don't you up! I just dropped you. Ah!
Oh.
Hi, Melanie. So I was just showing people some of our new ribbon and some wonderful things, but I was saying that if any of our followers don't know about your stencils, they're about to be in for a serious treat.
Oh. Yeah.
Because I was speculating that possibly a grandfather worked at Roswell, and this is alien technology.
They are a little different than some of the other ones you see, aren't they?
They are really amazing, and I'm not entirely sure how your brain works, but I'm intrigued. I've done stencils forever, and this whole multi-layer thing just does not happen in this brain. So,
Yeah.
So
that's actually how I started. I was doing cookies, but way back before cookie decorating was really a thing, and I was like, I need products for myself, and I come from more of a technical background, and so it was like I started making stuff for myself, and people were saying, "Where can I get that?" And I was like, "Well, you actually can't, because I just made it for myself." So yeah, that's kind of how I stumbled into this, because I just really enjoy I like doing stencils, and I enjoy the process of trying to break patterns down and figure out how to turn it into a stencil. So yeah.
that is very familiar, because that's
Yeah.
exactly how we started doing the same thing. So it is, you want the good toys for yourself, and your mom was a good mom. She taught you to share.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm a maker, as many of us are. So my brain immediately went to, how can I make it? Which I think a lot of us are in that same boat. A lot of us make our own things. So yeah. Well, I'm glad you like our stencils.
I love them. I absolutely love them. Now, I'm going to let you know that last time we did one of these with another person. I'm going to try to get my phone to balance. There is a slight lag.
Oh, yeah.
And we will talk over each other. So if I am pausing after you get done talking, it's just so that later when it replays back, I'm not talking over you. So I'm not actually that weird.
That makes sense. I don't know. I come from a big family, and if you don't talk over each other, you don't get heard. So I probably wouldn't even have noticed if you just talk over me.
Good point. It's Italian. So anyway, so this is everyone. If you're just tuning in, Melanie from Killer Zebras. I'm sure there's a lot of people that know Killer Zebras that don't know Evil Cake Genius. So I'm Evil Cake Genius. This is Melanie. She's Killer Zebras. I have one question before I ask you to start showing us this stuff. Okay, I get this all the time, and you've got me stumped. What's the origin of your name?
Oh, you know what? That is my number one asked question. And I gotta say, I think people expect it to be a really exciting story. It's not that exciting. It's from a book. There's an author that I grew up loving. Her name's Robin McKinley. She wrote a lot of books, mostly in the 80s, and a lot of them were fairy tale retellings. And she wrote a book called Sunshine. And in the book, the main character, whose name is Sunshine, she was a baker, and she's known in her small town for like these elaborately baked goods. And one of them is a cookie called a Killer Zebra, which was sort of like a Harlequin cookie, you know, with the black and white.
Yeah, yep.
But anyway, I had just finished reading the book when I opened my business, although my business originally was selling cookies. And so Killer Zebras was my name that I used when I sold cookies, and I just kept it and moved it on when I started selling supplies. But yeah, it's just, you know, but the number one reason I chose it is I thought it was funny.
I love it.
And it was years before I say that, but still occasionally, before I could call up and say, hey, I need to order more plastic or whatever. They're like, okay, what's the account under? And I say, Killer Zebras. There's always this long pause. And then, is that spelled the way it sounds? And I'm like, exactly how it sounds. So yeah, I enjoy that.
But we pronounce it zebras. Awesome. Oh, I love that. I love a good origin story. And you are a superhero, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what are you going to demo for us today?
All right, I have a couple stencils. So for those of you guys don't know, Evil Cake Genius is going to be carrying some of our products in their shop. So I've got two of the stencils that they're going to have. Although I will say, I had my husband grab this from the shop yesterday, and I didn't tell him what size. So I'm going to do vintage roses, but I don't think you guys have the small version. It's the exact same thing. It's just a smaller pattern.
Fine.
So we're going to do vintage roses,
Fine.
and then we're going to do glam dots. These are our two most popular designs by a pretty wide margin.
Oh, good.
All right.
And duly so, because they're beautiful. Oh, wait, I'm going to stop 1 second. I'm getting in my ear here. We are doing a giveaway, and it's during this live. Annalise is going to post well, no, she's not going to post it. Go to our profile, and there will be a link on the profile to enter. We're giving away a set of 4 metallic royal icings. And you have to enter on that. Go into our bio, go into the link. You have to enter before the end of this live. We're giving away a 4 set of the metallic royals, and we are also, in case you don't win, we are doing a code to get a discount on our metallic royal icings and the new Killer Zebra Stencils line. So hop on over there before this ends, and at the very end, we're going to pick a winner for the 4 set of royal icings. Okay,
all right.
Hit it.
All right, I'm hoping that I can just shift this down. Let's see. So you can actually see what I'm doing better.
Looks perfect.
It is a lag. I have my iPad open so I can see, but it hasn't showed up yet on my iPad. So I can't see the angle, but hopefully that's okay.
It's perfect.
All right. Okay, so how much do you want me to just demo, or do you want me to give you the full rundown? I do a lot of demos at CookieCon, and we can do the full stencil how-to.
Yes, please.
All right.
Yes, you are the expert. I want everything that you have to offer.
Yeah. So cookies and cakes, stenciling cookies and cakes is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you right now. I use, this is a fake cookie. We have it. It's called a sweet sketch. And I have these discs. It's great for doing demos. You don't have to bake and ice a bunch of cookies just to test out a pattern or test colors or whatever. So we're going to use the fake cookie.
Also brilliant.
And then this is a stencil genie, if you haven't seen it. There are a lot of airbrushing tools, like extras you can get. A lot of them are nice to have but I wouldn't consider all of them necessary. This I would consider a necessity. This is the only thing I absolutely won't airbrush without. So it has two sides, a tall and a short side. And you want to use whatever height makes your stencil sit directly on your cookie. When you're airbrushing, you can't have any gap between the stencil and the surface, otherwise you'll have underspray. So we're going to use the short side because in this case, the height is perfect for my fake cookie.
And Annalise, can you put the link, Annalise, pop up the link to, we carry that because it is a brilliant tool. Can you pop up a link to the Stencil Genie line on our site, please, Annalise? Thank you. Okay.
All right, so we're going to do the vintage roses. All of my stencils, if you look closely, this will be backwards too on the camera, but it has the name at the top, and my layered ones will say part, 1, 2, 3, whatever. Partly that's so you know you have the full set, but also I try to order these in the order that makes the most sense to airbrush them in. So if you're not sure where to start, just start with number 1 and go from there, because that's the order I would do. So we're going to start with number 1.
Because that was something I was wondering about too, because my brain doesn't work in layers like your brain works. And
yeah.
So that's okay. So they are numbered for those of us who are a little.
Well, and the way I determine the layer, or the way I determine, like, if something doesn't have numbers, the way I would decide what order to do them is in this case, I'm going to do, this is the large part of the flower, which I need to airbrush before the small part, because the small part gets layered on top. So you want the background layer first. But I also like to work light to dark because I don't like to wash my airbrush any more than necessary. And if I'm doing multiple colors, I don't want to have to be washing it out a million times between every layer, Okay, so I'm just going to put it wherever on the cookie. Sometimes you want the pattern in an exact spot, but in this case, it doesn't really matter. The one thing I will say, when you're doing layered stencils, pay attention to this little tab here is in the top left. Always make sure it's in the top left and that your stencil's upright. Because what happens is sometimes people don't pay attention and they'll do the first layer and then they come back with the second layer and they say, oh, I can't do layered stencils. They never line up. And it's because you lose track of what you did. And similarly, when you're doing multiple cookies, a lot of people will do a cookie and they'll pick it up to move on to the next one and they'll turn it. And then when and with this, it's easy, but if you're doing like a circle, or something like that, you have no idea where your starting point was. So just pick it up and make sure you move it in the exact position you started. And that'll just, honestly, those two things, they become, if you practice it enough, it becomes second nature and you'll never have problems lining things up again.
Brilliant.
So we're just going to put that.
Okay, so that stencil is lined up so that the tab, when you're doing it, is in the upper right side, and you can read the killer zebras. So that's how you know that you have the right side up. Okay.
Yeah, everything's, I think it's like backwards and upside down for everybody right now. But,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So just to make it extra confusing.
Exactly. Okay, so we're going to start with, we're going to do pink for the flowers. I like to do, for when I do the roses one or anything layered like this, I like to do a lighter and darker version so this one I'm just going to do a lighter version of what I'm going to do the other one. That way there's no washing in between. Oh, this bottle's not open.
Well, and that makes sense because you're adding depth on the rose. It would be weird if you did two different colors.
Well,
I like that.
Some people do, and that's fine. Some people like to do the centers gold or something like that, and that's pretty good. Personally, I like to go for the two shades. As long as I'm opening this one up, I'll show you guys. When I open my bottles, I do not pull the seal off. I just poke a hole. That will save you so much headache in leaking.
Oh. Why didn't I think of that?
And I do that for airbrush and gel colors.
You should see my bin of colors. It's disgusting. They're everywhere.
It's such a mess. It really is such a mess. So that helps a lot. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 drops of, I'm using Chef Master. This is the Neon Bright Pink. For those who follow me, you know I do a lot of color mixing. So I'm going to do 2 drops of the Neon Bright Pink, and I'm doing 1 drop of the Spring Green because that That's going to tone it down and get a nice, really soft pink.
Okay.
So when you mix your colors, put your finger over the tip and pull the trigger, and you can mix the color right there in the gun. I can see that the green's overpowering it, so I'm going to put a little more pink in. Do like 2 more drops.
I would never think to mix pink and green. I can't wait to see what this does.
Oh, see, the green's really overpowering it, even though I only did 1 drop. All right, we're going to do a few more drops of the pink.
That's fine. And I see that you test your airbrush on a paper towel instead of your wrist, which is also probably
I mean, I'm
smarter.
going to get covered in color anyway. Eventually, I can't airbrush without making a huge mess. But I've never tested it on my wrist. All right, now we have like a nice soft pink. I don't know if that's showing on the
That's
camera
beautiful.
or not.
Yeah, it's mauve.
All right, and then I'm going to add some water. This is how I lighten my colors.
Okay.
Some people add white. White is an option, but you have to add a lot of white, and it changes the entire texture of the color.
Okay.
All right. So we have, I don't know if that was on camera, but we have a nice soft pink now.
Beautiful.
Which might not even show up that much on the paper towel.
It's there. We can see it. We can see it.
All right. So when you're stenciling, you want to make sure your airbrush gun is straight up and down, because if you come at an angle, you're gonna just spray that color right under the stencil.
Okay.
And I always tell people, here, I'm going to show you. This is what I always show people. If you want like an all over color, you want to pull it back further, gently pull the trigger, and just overlap. And it's harder to see because it's such a pale pink, but it'll get you one nice even shade. If you're going for a darker color, do it in layers. Don't try and make it dark all at once, because it's just too much, and it'll smear the royal icing. Royal icing, moisture is kind of the enemy of royal icing. So if you spray too much liquid at a time, then it's just over. It runs and it makes just like a giant mess.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. That makes sense. Well, it's like spray paint. You can't do that with anything. You have to do everything in layers.
All right. So when you are finished, don't just lift your stencil genie up. You want to press down on one side and tilt it off. That'll help you avoid smearing your icing. So there's layer 1.
Ooh, look at that. Okay, can you hold that up so we can see? Okay.
There. So there's
look at that
first layer.
Okay. Ooh, fun.
And sorry if my hands are a little shaky. I have some blood sugar problems, and sometimes I notice that it does that. Just ignore it.
Okay. Well, do you need to stop and have a candy bar?
No, I'm good. It's eating something doesn't necessarily stop it. It's just a weird thing that I have, so just ignore it. But sometimes people notice and they're like, "Are you okay?" So I just like to get that out of the way. Don't worry about it. I'm fine, but my hands might shake. All right, so we got layer 2 in. We've got tab in the top left corner, and then now, okay, in this case, because this is a fake cookie and it's paper, it dries very rapidly. If it was royal icing, it does take longer to dry, especially the heavier you go on the color, the longer it will take. So I often have people ask me, how long do I have to wait to do the next layer? You do need to wait until it's 100% dry, because otherwise you're gonna smear or even lift off the color that you sprayed. But usually you're doing more than a single cookie. So, let's say you're doing a dozen. As you go down the line, usually by the time you're done with your last cookie, unless you really oversprayed it, your first cookie's usually dry by then. If you do need to speed it up, you can dust it with cornstarch.
Oh.
And that will, and just if you put some cornstarch on, give it a second for it to kind of absorb, and then just buff it off. You'll never be able to see it, and it will help you dry really rapidly. That's also helpful if you're trying to airbrush white, and it helps the white be a little more opaque.
Smart.
All right, so for the layer, I usually just, a lot of people try and put it down exactly right. I just put it down wherever. Now you're not going to see this necessarily on the video, but so all of our stencils have the markings for the next layer to make it really easy to line up. So all I'm doing is making some small adjustments. I usually like to line up a top corner.
Okay.
And then go to the opposite corner and just swivel it a little bit. And that's a lot easier than doing a lot of this.
So you're lining up On this stencil, there's an etched, like a loosely etched outline that you're lining up.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I'm just lining up the etching so that it matches up. And I'm going to come back in with my next color. I'm going to do the exact same color. I'm actually going to dump this out, though, the color I had. And I'm going to do that same mix, but not add water this time.
Okay. Oh, perfect.
And so it'll be the exact same thing, just a little darker.
And good for you coming up with these ways to mute those colors, because I know airbrush colors typically are really like neon. So I love this. I've never thought to add green to pink, but that keeps you from getting that absolutely, you know, like highlighter pink that I
yeah, well, I'm not a neon bright color kind of person. I like my muted colors, but I also teach color theory classes. So this is all about adding that color that's across the color wheel. So in this case, pink, which is like a magenta, straight across the color wheel is green. So if you add green, that's going to mute it down.
Brilliant.
All right, so same thing, making sure the airbrush is straight up and down. And I'm just pulling the trigger really softly. That's a mistake I see a lot of the time, is people that want to, they think they need to like pull that trigger all the way back. So just really softly, and I can come back in with a second layer if I want it darker. And then, especially with little patterns, I like to pull it back and just do one final go over the whole thing to make sure you didn't miss anything.
Yep.
All right. So pressing down on one side, and we're going to tilt it off. There's layer 2.
That is so cool. I can't stand that. That's amazing. That's amazing.
And then the third layer is going to be the leaves. I'm going to do it in green, but it's also really pretty if you do the leaves in gold.
Great idea.
All right, and for the color, I'm going to put this to the side. For the color, this is one of the reasons I did that muted version. I'm going to dump my color out of my gun. I'm not even going to wash it out. I'm just going to add the green straight to that. It's going to pick up some of that pink, and it's just going to be a muted green now.
Nice.
But it's basically, it's just a different ratio, but it's the same, you know, it's the same colors.
Yep.
That's a little too bright. We'll add a little more pink in.
Yes, that's the green I associate with airbrush color. So now, okay, so we've got, watch guys, she just added pink to that green, and let's see what this does.
Yeah, so the more you add, the more muted that's going to get. There we go. So it's a little bit softer. It's still maybe a little bright for my taste.
Yeah. So she's going to add more pink. Let's see what this does. This is amazing.
I think that's pretty good green. I'm going to add a tiny bit more pink.
Yeah.
But all right, that's perfect. A nice soft green.
Who knew we were going to get a color theory class too?
I mix it. There aren't a lot of things I stencil where I use the color straight out of the bottle. I mean, occasionally, but not very often.
Yeah.
All right, so third layer. Tab is in the top left, and I'm just going to line this up. Every layered one has the markings on it. It really, really makes these layered stencils super easy.
You are a genius.
Thank you. Now, the thing I always like to remind people when they're airbrushing is it's not a crayon, so don't come at it like this. You want to just do nice, soft, and slow.
Dem Cakes says she is. They agree with me. Yes, you are a genius.
All right, and there is the finished pattern.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is, like I said, this is one of my earlier designs, but it's still our #1 seller. Great for baby showers. I think it's in possibly just about every tea party cookie set I've ever seen.
Yes.
Great for China, great for, you know, all of those weddings, everything.
I've seen a lot of people use them on weddings, and I've also seen a lot of people use them on baby shower, like on onesies and.
Oh yeah, on little baby girl dresses and stuff like that. So cute.
That is absolutely astounding.
And that's kind of a nice traditional one. It's a good staple to have because you can use roses in just about any, you know, scenario.
Yep.
So yeah, there's that one. The other one I brought with me is our glam dots, and this is going to be a very different style pattern. You kind of see, I don't know if you can see the markings very well, but this is going to be more of an abstract one. But this is another great one that literally fits. It's not girly, it's not masculine, it fits. I've seen it used for literally anything. So people have gotten really way more creative than I envisioned when I did it. All right, I'm gonna clean out my airbrush really quick. When I clean out my airbrush, all you do, this is just a big thing because I'm not near a sink. All you do is run water through it until the water runs clear. So I'm going to put water in the cup. I'm going to spray it out. Once that starts to look clear, I'm going to do the same thing I did when I was mixing colors, where I put my finger over the tip and pull the trigger. It's going to run the water through the nozzle.
Yep. I call that burping the airbrush.
All right. I don't have a color theme in mind for this one. What do you guys think would be good?
Okay, guys, let's see some suggestions. What do we do? It's more of a modern look. So any ideas? What colors? Let's
we're going to finish with some gold for some texture. So I'm going to actually, but it has to be whenever you do a layered stencil and you're going to use, and you're going to scrape icing across, it always needs to be on the last layer. So we're going to actually use the Evil Cake Genius metallic gold royal icing to scrape on the one. So whatever we do for the other one, we need to do something that looks good with gold.
Ooh, teal and lilac is one
beige and blue. You know, I've seen beige and blue before.
Yep. I like that. Teal and lilac I like. That sounds really, really different. Gold, light blue, and light green. Very pretty. Navy orange and gold. You guys have a great sense of color. I'm terrible at color.
Or teal and gray. I can
teal and gray.
Gold. Let's see what I have. I don't even know. You know what? I haven't unpacked all of my airbrush colors from what I was thinking on. So thinking on it, we might be a little limited onto whatever I've got on hand. All right, got some purple. Let's start with Let's start with a nice light purple. We'll start there.
Yep.
We'll work out. So we're going to use part one. It's the biggest section. So this is going to be the back layer. Okay. Now the nice part about this stencil, with layered stencils, it's going to vary. So the roses stencil, you really want to be pretty precise when you line up the layers. But like this one, you can kind of half-ass it and nobody's ever going to know, because it's not one that has to be because it's abstract, it's not one that has to be super precisely lined up. So that part is nice. If you're doing this and you lose track, just guess and you'll be fine.
Go with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm doing art, I deliberately offset things, and it's pretty.
That's true. Well, and also when you're doing, like, let's say you're doing a cookie, which is pretty small, you might want a certain pattern to be on the stencil, on the cookie, and maybe it didn't line up that way, so you can just, fudge it. Perfect. All right. So we're going to start with some purple. I'm going to do a soft purple. This is in the background. Whenever I do layered stencils, I try not to do too many really heavy colors, because then they sort of fight with each other for attention, and it makes the entire thing just look really chaotic. So I do try and go for, you can do like a stronger color, but I wouldn't do too much.
Okay, so that makes sense. Start with the lighter colors. And the way you're lightening your colors is you're just adding more water to the airbrush.
This is a little pinky for a purple, so I'm going to add a drop of blue.
Okay, and guys, for you guys that just joined, we are giving away a set of 4 of our metallic royal icing. Melanie's going to be using the gold in a minute so you can see them, but we are giving it away. You have to go to the link in our bio to sign up for the giveaway, and we will be announcing that at the end of this live. And you will also get, ooh, that's a pretty, you will also be able to get a code for discount on the Evil Cake Genius Royal icings, the metallics, and for the new line of killer zebras that we've picked up. We've added a ton of her designs. I couldn't help myself. There's like little giraffes. Oh, so cute.
Oh, I love the giraffe. I've seen those used. I've seen a lot of those used for baby shower cookies, and the little giraffes on like a sleeper pajama cookies. So cute. All right, so we've got kind of a pale purple. We're going to come in really light with that because I don't want this to be too heavy.
I am always amazed at the fact that you don't spill.
Oh.
At that
you know, it is important not to fill the cup up all the way. Sometimes people fill it up, and then again, if you're doing the whole crayon movement, you're going to do this and slosh it out.
That's me.
And so yeah, that's why nice soft motions, and yeah, definitely don't fill it up too much.
Got it.
All right.
Okay, somebody said they couldn't find the link. Go to our bio, and when you click, I think it's shop now, in the bio, it's going to take you to a page on our website, and that's going to have all the information you need to sign up for the giveaway and the discount codes.
Okay, let's go for a darker color. Keep it maybe a similar tone with this purple. I won't wash the purple out. Maybe we'll do just like maybe a darker blue.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like a navy. That'd be pretty.
So I'm going to add a drop of that purple back in. We're going to use some blue. I don't know where my navy is, so we're going to do a little bit of blue and then 1 drop of black to kind of give it, hopefully it won't overpower it. We'll see.
It always surprises me how much purple is in navy blue. It's a very, very purple color. Oh, pretty.
Ooh, that's a pretty good one. Not too dark. Should we stick with that?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so second layer. We're going to go ahead and line it up, but like I said, if it's off, it's not really a big deal. All right. Now, this layer is like horizontal lines. And so I'm going with that grain. If the lines were vertical, I would go up and down because that's going to also help you with avoiding bleeding.
Makes sense. Yeah, the stencil will tell you what to do. Okay. You see, guys, how she's doing that? She didn't do it heavy at once. She did 1 layer and then went back and did more to get the darker color so it doesn't beat up and bleed.
I'm just making sure. So you can always tell it's time to wash your airbrush, or wash your stencil if you're getting heavy beading on the plastics. Because you can use your stencil several times before you need to wash it, but if you're getting heavy beading on the plastic, that's how you know it's time to wash it. All right.
That is so cool.
I like the colors.
Oh man. Hold it up. Hold it up. I want to see how much.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
We're going to finish this off with gold.
Okay, guys.
That's
the glam dots.
Yeah, glam dots.
Love it.
All right. All right, so I've got some that I mixed up already. Let's see if it's hopefully not too thin. I think it'll be okay. So
getting tons of hearts on that one.
When you're stenciling with royal icing, you want it to be on the thicker side. So you can see this is kind of, I've already mixed it up, but it's not too thin. If it's thin, you're going to end up just smushing it underneath your stencil. And we don't want that.
Yes. I'm so excited to see my cookie crush using Evil Cake Genius Gold Royal. This is amazing.
Yeah. So we just started carrying this, and I debuted it at CookieCon, and we had, you know, a little area set up so people could actually pipe and play with it.
Oh, fun!
And oh my gosh, people couldn't get enough of it. It was so much fun. And then when I showed them that initially nobody was buying the pearl, and so I mixed one up that was blue, and everyone was like, "Wait, you can color it?" And then it was that one we couldn't keep it on the shelf.
Yes. I that's the thing is I have to sell it as pearl, but I wanted to call it like universal metallic because it any gel color makes it makes the most beautiful metallics.
Well, and you know, I didn't have open gel color with me, so I used a drop of airbrush color because I was going to be adding liquid anyway. And
perfect.
Worked out great.
Yeah, my favorite to make with that is like sky blue. Just it's absolutely gorgeous.
We did like a soft teal, and it was so pretty. All right, so I've got a little bit here. I normally use my Genie silicone scraper, and for the life of me, I cannot find it anywhere. So I have like a basic bowl scraper. It's not great, but it'll do the job. All right. So when you're doing this,
bowl scrapers.
Yeah. I really like Genie's silicone one because of it's just like thick and flexible. All right, so we're gonna hold it down because I don't want this to shift when I'm scraping it. So we're just gonna kind of spread a little bit on. Then I'm gonna come in with my scraper. Okay, so we're gonna work it off. And whenever you scrape on a cookie, you're gonna have some edges to clear up. Give me a second.
Oh, thank you, Maybell. Maybell says she's been using the silver for a year and it's a game changer.
Oh yeah, it's so good. When you're doing cookies, for those of you that do cookies, because I know we've got a mix of, because your audience is mostly cakes, I think. Mm-hmm. But when you're doing cookies on that small scale, and you'll pipe a bunch of names, and then you have to go back and just tediously paint every tiny ridge and hope you don't get gold on another section. You know, it's such a pain. And of course, I can't find my other scraping tool now, so I'll just use this. Okay.
But it saves a full step, and that with cakes too. And we would you would pipe the detailing, and then you'd have to wait for it to dry and then paint it and make sure that your gold paint wasn't too wet because it would eat the royal would dissolve and
yeah. Well, yeah, it does. It gets like it eats away at the royal icing, and if you're not careful, it pits it, and yeah, it's kind of a mess.
Yep.
So if I was doing this to a cookie, I would just take my scribe tool and run it along the edge. Since this I can lift out, I'm just doing the edges where it's coming off.
Perfect.
And the other question I get asked a lot when I use this is, how do you clean up the edge of the cookie? And what I always tell people is, well, some people don't realize when I do videos that this is a fake cookie, but if this was a real cookie, I would have flooded much closer to the edge of the cookie, so there's not nearly as much to pick up the color.
Makes sense.
Get that out of the way.
Makes
and there
sense.
is our finished pattern.
Amazing, guys. Take a look at that. Oh, and I have to say hi to Lorraine because she's in Australia and she set her alarm clock for 3 a.m. to watch. Hi, Lorraine. Have some coffee.
Let me cover it with royal so it'll dry out. The other thing we found, which is really great with the metallic royal icing, is how well it freezes. So for those of you that do royal and sometimes you'll freeze, your extra icing, this freezes really well, so you don't have to waste what's in the bag, like if you mixed up too much or something like that.
Yeah.
So
MedSmart
there
says,
we
I
go.
love that stencil.
I'm gonna
Just check out the rest of her
shift this
stencils.
up a little bit.
They're amazing. Every one she does is not only beautiful, but just like an engineering feat. So check them out. We just loaded a bunch to the site, and I haven't even started. I can't even tell you how long it's going to take me to pick the ones I want to carry for Halloween and Christmas. I just went basic for now, but check it out. We have a full category now.
Yeah.
That is.
So you can see.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
look at.
there they are. And I do think you have the slightly larger version of this one, which I've seen people do on cakes, and it's so pretty.
Yes. Oh, gorgeous. Didn't even think of that. Okay, I have, this is kind of fun. I have a list of questions for you.
All right.
So everybody gets to know Melanie a little bit better. For who's joining, this is Killer Zebra's Melanie. She's absolutely amazing. Would this work on buttercream cakes?
It does work on buttercream. You just have to have if you're going to actually airbrush it, you have to have airbrush color that works on buttercream. There are specific ones for buttercream. There's also, I find that if I'm careful and I do it in soft layers, I can airbrush any brand on buttercream as long as I add white as the base, because the white acts as that tackiness that allows it to stick to the buttercream.
Okay, and that is all of our Evil Cake Genius airbrush colors are made to work on buttercream and chocolate. And so I want to see. I can't wait. I've got a chocolate bar mold that I can't wait to use your stencils on.
I've seen the chocolate dipped Oreos with the stencils, but chocolate bar was fun.
Yes. And I'm excited about that. Yes, so it will work. You just have to use the right airbrush. And our Evil Cake Genius, ours works on royal too, but it also works on chocolate and buttercream, and it's lovely. It's opaque. They're very neat colors. Okay, so now we're gonna put Melanie through the ringer here. Right. We're gonna ask her some questions. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This is standardized testing at Evil Cake Genius. This is how we interview our new employees. Coffee or tea?
Tea. I don't drink coffee at all, which I know makes me weird to most people, but tea.
You'll come around.
Okay, this is going to be a controversial statement, but I'm sorry, dress it up as much as you want. It kind of tastes like dirt. I worked at an office once, long time ago, and one of the owners brought in coffee for everyone. It was the holidays, and it was this caramel apple pie frappuccino thing that had to have been mostly sugar and this much coffee. And I took one sip, and I was like, if I can't like this, I don't think I can like. I don't think I can like coffee. So yeah. But don't hate me. Don't come at me.
We're not judging. We do not judge with the magic questions. Okay, if you had to choose a different profession, what would it be?
Well, before I did cookies, I was a hairstylist. So, I mean, maybe I would go back to that. Oh, please look at me. This is, I'm not showing my profession. Although the general rule of thumb in a salon is you go in and a lot of people go in and they pick the person with the nicest hair and say, I want that person to do my hair. Pick the person with the worst hair because they're the one doing everybody else's hair. So there you go.
That's a good point. You can't give yourself a haircut.
Yeah. You have no idea how frustrating that is for me. I wish it was like beauty school. I could just use my head like a mannequin head and just do my own thing. But unfortunately, it's not going to work. But yeah, I'd maybe go back to that. I did enjoy that.
That does explain. I have coveted your hair color for a long time.
Oh yeah, it shifts around. It's kind of like a barely pink right now, but it's usually like pink. Sure. Hey, if you ever want it, I can get you there. I can tell you what to use.
Oh really? Okay, we're gonna have to PM on this one because my hairdresser did it for me and it lasted literally 3 days.
Okay, here's the secret. I put the color in my conditioner. So that's the only way you can maintain a pastel. Because, and that's why my hair's faded right now, because the last time I shampooed, I was testing out a new conditioner and I didn't add the pink in, so it's this sort of faded color right now. But the only way to maintain a pastel is to add a little bit in every time you wash your hair. So every time I shampoo and condition my hair, it just adds the pink back in and I don't ever get it colored. So there you go. There's my hair color secret.
See, guys, it pays to tune in for the lives because you get all sorts of, it's not just about cake and cookies here. We get beauty tips. Check it out. Okay, another question 3. I think there's 9. Okay, there might be 10. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Oh, Star Trek. Because, okay, if I'm being totally honest, kind of neither. But I come from a family that is major Trekkie and Star Wars fans. And I grew up, my mom would sit and fold laundry watching Star Trek. So I've seen every episode of Star Trek ever. Not necessarily of my own choice, but I've seen every episode. And it's fine. But I was dragged to so many Star Wars movies that I kind of hate it. And my husband and my boys are like, we can't watch Star Wars. I'm like, you can watch it. It's not like I can't be around it, but I'm not going to choose to sit and watch a Star Wars movie like ever. And maybe I would have liked it if it hadn't been like forced on me as a kid, but you know, that's I guess my rebellious side showing. I was like, no Star Wars. I come from a family of big nerds.
I understand.
We all are.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
That's nerd people, like cake and cookie people, are the best people. Which brings me to my next question. Babies or puppies?
Oh, puppies. I mean, I love my babies, and I do love babies, but just surround me with puppies any day. We've got 2 dogs, and we would have more. I send my husband memes all the time where it'll be like, you know, there's a million memes out there that are joking about like wanting 1,000,000 dogs, you know, and I send them to my husband all the time because he knows that we would have so many dogs if it was an option.
My husband knows that I would like to have more than 2. But when people ask me why I don't, it's because more than 2 dogs probably means 1 less husband. So,
well, yeah, no, I think my husband wants to move someday because we've got a yard. It's not huge, but we've got a backyard. But like, he wants to live on like acres someday, you know? And so I told him, if you get your acres, there's no reason I don't get my dogs.
Exactly. Good for you. I love that. Okay. Next question. Besides cakes or cookies, sweets, what's the best thing you cook?
Oh. Do meringues count as a cookie?
No. Has to be not sweet.
Oh, not sweets. Yeah. Okay. Best thing I cook. I don't know. I've been experimenting with bread lately. I've been doing homemade bread a lot. I'm not an expert. My sister is a pro. Like, she's been making all of her own breads and even pasta and everything from scratch for like her kids' entire lives. So when I have bread questions, I go to her. But that's been my experiments lately have been with bread, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't love to cook, which always surprises people, but I'm like, baking and cooking are not the same thing. I can cook. I don't enjoy it.
Baking is chemistry and classical music. Cooking is jazz.
Yeah. Well, and it takes a different brain. My sister, the one that does the breads and stuff, she doesn't do like the cookies and things like that. That's not her area, but she's this great cook. And I asked her once, because she has this cupboard with like 1,000,000 spices in it. And I was like, how do you even know? Like, I would have no idea where to start. And she was like, oh, you just smell them. And you just know if it fits with like what you're cooking. And I'm like, that is not a thing. That's not a thing I could ever do. I would smell it and be like, I don't know, maybe.
But ask her to make pink muted, and she's out.
Yeah. Well, you know, half my family's colorblind, so most of them won't be able to help you with the colors anyway.
Not good. Okay. Next one. I got 3 questions left. Possums, cute or ugly?
Okay, I'm from Washington. We have a lot of possums here, and those guys are mean. So I'm gonna say not cute. They are like super giant rats that will attack your dog, and they're always coming out in the street. So unfortunately, there's a lot of, people hit them all the time. But it's just because up in Washington, Pacific Northwest, there's a lot of possums. So I'm going to go no. They're just rats.
I assumed that possums, now we have them in Minnesota, and I assumed that it was mostly a southern thing. I didn't know that you would have them in Washington.
There's so many up here.
Really?
Like a lot. It's out of control. They're everywhere. And they really are mean. And so you got to be careful. Like if there's one in our backyard once and it was like, can't let the dog out because those things will, Wow. Okay. We have one. We call her Polly, and she's up front, and so she's not in the backyard where our dogs go. Yeah.
And so then
we got one in the backyard. We don't normally get them in the backyard. I will say though, I can see how someone would say they're cute. But my experience is they're annoying.
I can see here this person says they hiss at you. Yes,
yeah, they do.
They do. We are famous for possums in Australia. Really?
Okay, I was thinking in my head, I wonder if it's a little bit like kangaroos, because now, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that in Australia, kangaroos are kind of like giant rodents, and they're annoying, and they're a pest, whereas everyone else in the world is like, oh, kangaroos are so cute, so I imagine it's a little bit like that.
Okay, Lorraine, can you confirm, are kangaroos kind of like over there for you? She'll get back. I know she will. She got up for this. Okay, so we're waiting to hear back from Lorraine as to whether or not, I can't imagine kangaroos being anything but a delight, but okay, name something that everybody likes but you hate.
Oh, geez, see, I probably would put Star Wars in that category. And even coffee. See, bringing out all my,
yeah, you're chock full.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently I've got them. I know, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's probably something else that's not occurring.
But that's two really big things.
I would say those are two big ones that I'm just, I know I have to be careful who I say to, so it's a good thing I'm putting this out there live to everybody. Because that could get me, that makes people big mad in some circles.
This is true. I don't know especially because you live in Washington, to not drink coffee, I'm surprised they haven't evicted you from the state yet.
It's true. Coffee is like a way of life here. Although I will say I didn't grow up here, but I have lived here my entire adult life. So, but I do come from New England, and I don't like Dunkin's coffee either, so they would have evicted me for that. So I don't know.
Absolutely. Maybelle just said likes the smell, but not the taste.
I see someone says they hate Star Wars too, so I'm not alone.
Oh, here we go. So kangaroos are temperamental like a possum or even a deer. Okay, so it depends on
maybe similar
how much coffee the kangaroo has had. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Coffee all the way. Look at this. Oh, okay. Let's see. Last question. Okay. We all know you're incredibly talented. We get that. Okay. Yeah. What is your untalent? What's something that everybody else can do and you can't?
That's a good question. I don't know, something that has to do with that would fight my ADHD would fight. I've got like ADHD big time, so I can hyper focus on stuff if I'm really into it, but so anything that would require me to focus on something that I'm not interested in, I don't know. If I want to do it, I can do something for 10 hours and not even realize any time has gone by. But if I'm not interested, it's been 5 minutes and I'm just like, oh my gosh. How long is this going to take?
How about multitasking? I'm betting you're not so great at multitasking.
Oh, the multitasking is great because my brain is in 100 places at once, so I have to multitask or I can't concentrate. So if I'm focusing on one thing, I'll be listening to an audiobook and I'll be carrying on a conversation, and that's my happy spot. If my brain is fully engaged in every area, then I can actually focus. So yeah.
Okay, this goes back to my original my original speculation that possibly your stencils are alien technology.
Yeah, well, no, I just like, that's honestly, the stencils are a result of my ADHD, because it's me going down the rabbit hole of, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to do this thing. So you Google it. Nobody else is doing it the way I want it to do. So I'll make up a way. And it's trial and error and just figuring out my way of doing things. And I will say, okay, here's the thing. Here's what I don't do well. I don't keep up on current stuff. I have a tendency to live in my own little bubble in my world, and I focus on what I'm doing and what I want. And then people will be like, "Oh my gosh, did you hear this thing that happened with this cookie?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Or, did you hear about this thing? It's so huge. Everybody's talking about it. And I'm like, I don't know what. Which makes it really hard to follow trends sometimes for me, because I'm not paying attention because I don't care about trends. So I've had to try and force myself to notice trends. That's my weakness. I'm not good at that. I just
That's good.
Focus on my thing and then don't pay any attention to what's going on outside of it.
That's probably beneficial for the most part.
Yeah. I feel like it's mostly served me well, because occasionally I'll hear about it and I'm like, wait, what's happening? And then they tell me and I'm like, oh, like, I don't think I care that much. It doesn't, but it means I also don't know what's going on,
There's this, what is it, COVID? Is that what?
Are you kidding?
I heard something.
Washington, we knew that was happening.
There's Taylor's Tasty Treat said she loves your stencils, and I think
thank you so much.
I think she speaks for all of us on that, and I am super excited that you were able to join us today. I am going to have, we've got 3 minutes left. I'm going to have Annalise. She's going to comment who has won the set of 4 metallic royals. So this is your last chance. I'm going to give her 2. She's going to wait. I'm going to have her pick in 2 minutes. So last chance, go to the link in our bio, and that will bring you to a page on our site, and sign up for to enter in the contest. So we're going to give it 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to have Annalise tell us who won all of those fabulous royal icings, the metallics. And in the meanwhile, I need your metallic royals. Well, get on there. You might win them. Okay, I've got 1 minute left, guys. And then I'm going to have Annalise tell us who won. Are you on pins and needles, Melanie? I'm on pins and needles.
Hey, I love when people win stuff. I like doing giveaways just for people to get so excited about it. And I don't know about you, since you guys do giveaways too. Number one thing every single person says when I do a giveaway and they win, every single person, oh my gosh, I've never won anything before, every time. And I'm like, I'm so happy that you won something.
Okay, somebody just asked, what airbrush were you using?
Oh, yes. I am using here, let me unplug it. This is the Air Genie.
Okay.
This is hands down my favorite. I've used a lot of airbrushes. Air Genie is my favorite. It never clogs as long as I actually wash it out when I'm done. I say as I look at this sitting here with color in it. But as long as you wash it out when you're done, there's almost never any problem. And on the off chance there is a problem, Ginny has the best customer service. She's fantastic. So
she is wonderful.
Yeah, we do have these in our shop, but Ginny also sells them. I don't know if you guys have an airbrush or not. But yeah.
We don't have one that's like branded as us. We carry Dinky Doodle,
okay,
which is very similar to the Genie one. I carry Pache, which is the one that I used at my she said right here, never issues with metallics ? And
no, actually, I will say Ginny has a pink tail gun, which is a 0.5 millimeter nozzle as opposed to the regular 0.4, and you can use that for metallics, but honestly I've used mine exactly once and decided it didn't matter, and I put all my metallics through this one. It never clogs as long as I don't let the metallic dry in the nozzle, and even then I can get it unclogged. It just means I have to go through a process, but all my metallics go through this. I literally 0 problems. It's my favorite, and it's always smooth, never any spattering. Although I will say, this is my other tip I tell a lot of people that a lot of people don't get, is right here. Most of these machines have like a like a high and low. And a lot of people seem to think that that has something to do with how much color is coming out. So people always think it's supposed to be low. On these little machines, you know, the big ones, it's different. But any of these small machines, just crank it all the way up, because that's the amount of air pressure that's behind the color. And so the higher it is, the finer the mist you'll have. You won't have any splattering.
Yes, that's perfect. And yeah, we carry Pache, and we carry some smaller ones too that are lovely. I'll have to look into the Genie one, because now that
hers is the only one I use now, personally.
Okay. Well, we'll pick it up, guys, because that's really important when it's been. I don't pick up anything that I haven't tried out myself.
It's the same. I don't sell it. Yeah, same. It's like I test every single thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like I have to use it too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sell a product then I then have to demo it that I don't even like. So what's the point?
Right. And we run into this with our ECG airbrush paints are thicker because they're pigment based, and so they're opaque. And so you need to have a 0.5 to run it through. Although if you've been able to do metallics,
you know, I haven't tried your colors. Now maybe I'll have to try some and try it in my 0.4 and see if I can do it.
I'll send them over. I think you'll love them because they're neat because they're opaque, and so you can do it on dark chocolate and it shows up. Yeah. You can do it on a black cookie. It's really pretty to do. I can't wait to do. I want to do yours on like a black iced cookies and really cool. Do these lighter colors. I think it's going to be amazing. So
yeah, that would be cool.
Yes. Okay. So send me some too. Haha. I like you, Taylor. I'm rooting for you to win the metallic royals. Okay. So let me see. Annalise. She's the girl behind the curtain. Let's see. Annalise, I'm going to have you go ahead and announce the winner on the metallic. We're giving away a 4 set of the metallic royal icings. Can you please save this so we can watch it again, please? Absolutely. We will save this. We will post this because I just loved it. To me, watching Melanie work is like magic. We will be sharing this. Okay, Annalise, do you have a winner? Do we have a winner? Let's see what she's doing. I'm waiting. There's going to be a slight delay. Dem Cake says awesome. Let's see. Okay, you're about to announce this. Pick me! Yeah, Taylor. I hear you, Taylor. Okay, let's see. Sorry about this. Annalise is, I'm at home today.
Yeah.
And Annalise is over at the office, and so she knows that we're gonna do this, and she's on there, and she might be having a problem getting the what is that? The random generator thing to do its random thing. Drum roll. Let's see. Even if I don't win, I'm buying some today. Don't say that, Taylor.
It's so good.
They're really good. They're really good. And try the airbrush colors. They're really neat too. Okay, let's see. I got more people joining. So many hearts. Let's see. Joined. Scroll up in the comments. Oh, she already did it, didn't she? Okay, hold on. Scroll up in the comments. I think she already announced it and I missed it because I was busy chatting. Let's see. Endless sweet. Yes. Where is Annalise? Oh, shoot. No, I'm not reporting a comment. Okay. Just big. Oh, baby!
It's okay to join me.
Baby! Okay, hold on. Okay, Jenna, I'm going to have you text me who won because I can't find it in the comments. And meanwhile, hold on.
You're like, wait, I have one too.
I got one too. Come here, Bear.
Oh, wait, what was your dog's name?
You've got Bear and Penny, don't you?
Yeah, I was going to say. Did I hear Bear? Because we've got a bear. He's a big guy.
This is Charlie Bear. Say hi, Charlie Bear. Say hi. That's our Charlie Bear. We've got Charlie and Skip, and you've got, which one is this? Is this Penny?
This is Penny, yeah.
That's Penny.
Yeah, Bear's our big guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I have a winner. Okay, hold on. Let's see. And what I was busy talking about.
Nope. Thank you. Paused. Oh my gosh, teacup chihuahuas. I want to see teacup chihuahuas. I wanted a teacup poodle way back in the day, and my husband vetoed it.
Fourth prize. Are you there? Hi guys, the Tulip Cookiery has won. So DM us and Tulip Cookery. I can't say that. Tulip Cookiery. Let us know. And Chihuahuas, totally. The captain, my husband, freaks over Chihuahuas. Loves Chihuahuas. Do you like Chihuahuas, Charlie?
Oh, I love the Cadillac. See, I just want all the dog names. Now it's just like everyone talking about their dogs. I can.
Oh, I love it. We should do. You know what? We should do a live where everybody just brings their dogs.
You can tell the dog people that are like dogs.
Yeah. Like pictures. It really annoys me that they can't comment with a photo.
That would
love to.
Be nice.
I would love.
I want to see everybody's dog. Just
DM
me all your dogs, guys.
Yes. Here too. Well, thank you, Melanie. This was really a treat. Head over to Evil Cake Genius today. We have loaded a bunch of her stencils, and we are going to load more. And check out her pages. Check out her site. She does beautiful things, and we just love you. We love you, Melanie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday.
For the game.
Thank you.